Hello everyone and welcome to a little overview video today of the Raging Slayers strike deck for Warhammer Underworlds. One of the aggro decks, and it's best comparable to the ice skating one of first edition. I forgot the name, but you know, the one that you slide in all directions. In that you get a ploy card here, which we're really looking for at a moment. Always nicely packed, and it can have your figures end up not really where you want. While I'm opening the whole box, I'm also going to do the recommendation, begging and asking and everything. If you want, just to toss a like and subscribe, because since last January's algorithm update, it has become even worse for our little hobby to actually appear somewhere in the views. I need an eye for that. Because yeah, YouTube does YouTube thingies. And it helps out a lot. Also, if you want to give a little kickback to the channel, feel free to go to my link tree up here, where you can, by the way, find also all my other channels, like on theme park visits and stuff, or about Little Torin, if that's something that interests you. As well as my affiliate link for Wayland Games, where you can get this deck. Doesn't do much in promotion for you, but if you're shopping anyway, it gives a little kickback to the channel, and that well, makes me a happier person, because then I can buy some more stuff to unbox on this channel. Or you can just buy me a coffee, because coffee keeps me going. Now here we go, the Raging Slayers deck. So it has a ploy card. This is the list with the bit of fluff, but the ploy card, you used to be able to only use one, now you can use two, so this makes it a very viable option. Though I'm gonna probably couple it to Blazing Assault and build something with my Shadeborn, which are still being painted as we speak. So once that warband is ready, I'll make a deck and we'll have a look at it. But you get a rage token when you charge, or you can opt to get that, meaning that if you have that token, you can reroll one attack dice, so that's great for aggro, especially with the easy to score surge of Blazing Assault. But you also have poor footing. That means when you're attacked yourself and you're not driven back or grappled, you are pushed one hex away from the attacker, and your opponent chooses the direction of that push. So if you have not too much reach, that might be an issue, but as I said, I'm going to do it with Shadeborn, and 3 of them have, of the 4 models, have a range of minimum 2, so yeah, for example, works great with the Ember Watch. You also have a solid ranged weapon, so yeah. It's a bit of seeing. I can see it work less well with, for example, Iron Souls, because 2 of them don't have range unless you use the special wall scroll ability. So yeah. But let's have a look at the cards. We have the objectives, we have the 10 ploys, and we have the 10 upgrades. And well, let's see at the objectives first. We start with aggressive expansion. I'm sorry about the light, it's very sunny outside. You score in end phase if 3 or more enraged friendly fighters are in enemy territory. Might be doable with actually a bigger band, with a 3-man elite aggro. Well, you actually have to have it in the first turns, because you're gonna lose someone anyway, and then it's unscorable. Best foot forward, a surge. Friendly fighter successful attack, has charge tokens in enemy territory. That's yeah, 0-brainer to score, because you'll be charging anyway, as for the bonus. Blinded by rage, if an enemy fighter is slain by an enraged friendly fighter's melee attack, if that friendly fighter was enraged at the start of the turn. So that's a bit of a harder one, not to say sheer impossible, because you have to be charged out and everything. Yeah, that just rubbish, toss it away. Coordinated assault, after an action step, if each friendly fighter is enraged in enemy territory. If you play really aggressive, like I usually tend to do, might be doable. If you hold one back to defend your home territory, it's a useless card. Into the fire is if your leader is in enemy territory and within 2 hexes of 2 other figures. Yeah, you want your leader, one of the best fighters in aggro, always to be in the thick of it. Might be harder to score in round 3 if they take him down, but yeah. No contest, scored in end phase when an enemy leader is slain. No brainer, you always go after the leader in an aggro build anyway, especially with all the raised warbands and so. No escape, in an end phase if each friendly fighter is enraged and in enemy territory, and no enemy fighters are in your territory. Rubbish, toss it in the old paper. No respite, score immediately after an opponent's action step if there's an enraged friendly fighter in each territory. Again, It might work with the Thorns of the Briar Queen, which are a 7-man warband and based now with the new scroll and the mugging on aggro. But with a 3-man elite band, nah, don't see that happening. Overwhelming presence. In face of each friendly fighter is enraged and there are no fighters holding treasure tokens. That's a card you don't really play for 2, because unless you have an aggro vote itself, there's always someone on a token somewhere and it's something that you don't have in control, and then you're guiding your actions towards taking off models of tokens and not the targets that you want to kill. Sever the hit. That's if an enraged friendly fighter kills the enemy leader, just like the one that you just have to kill the leader. Those are 2 that are pretty handy going together. Supreme Slayer, that's if my leader, of your own leader, successfully attacks and the target was slain and was the second or subsequent fighter slain by your leader. Nope, not my thing unless you're playing little minions and you don't have to charge. An Unrelenting Massacre, that's a returnee. If everything has charge tokens, very situational. I might put it in, I might not. I'm still on the fence about that one. And then we are going to the upgrade deploys. So you got an Adrenaline Rush, 2 enraged friendly fighters that can remove their stagger tokens. Okay, that's yeah, no. If you have staggers, so you can remove it, but not that great. Owned Reflex is a domain card, and each time you make a save roll for an enraged fighter, you can reroll 1 save. So that's pretty cool. Now, keeping effect. It's for an enraged friendly fighter, so if the other one also plays Honed Reflexes, it doesn't work for him. If he also plays Raging Slayers. Knife to the Heart, that's a great one, not vulnerable. Adjacent to an enraged friendly fighter and do 1 damage. And then of course you remove his rage token, but yeah. Then it only means after, because you charge, you already used to reroll, you then play that card and then they can't slide you away. Murderlust. Friendly fighters melee weapons have +1 attack dice while targeting the target of a failed attack. Not that great, unless again, something for the Thorns maybe, then I would consider it. Senseless Hate. Friendly fighter has +1 move. After any friendly fighter move in your next turn, give him a stagger token. So yeah, that's maybe one thing that the first card can help with to remove it again, but nah. Again, not too wild about that. There are better +1 move or extra move ones. A sidestep, a lure of battle, even though technically the other one moves to you. Wings of War, those kind of cards are way better than Senseless Haste. Slayer's Aid, you pick an adjacent friendly fighter and you push him 3 hexes and it must adjacent to your leader. Well, maybe Commanding Stride is better. Bit of a juju. Slayer's Arena is a domain and each failed attack gives the attacker a stagger token. This effect until the end of the round or domain cards are played, so might be handy. Then depends a bit on the matchup, but it's not too crappy for a domain. Venting Strike, immediately after your melee weapon of part of an attack by a friendly fighter that's of course enraged. It has +1 attack dice, and after that his rage token is removed, so okay, that's just good. What's Pain? You pick 2 enraged friendly fighters, you heal those and then remove their rage tokens and give them a stagger token. Yeah, great, give them a heal. So what if they get a stagger? That extra attack with the reroll might miss them afterwards, so that's a good one. And a wrong-footed stance is another domain. There are 3 domains in this deck. And if a fighter enters at play or is placed in a stagger hex, give them a move token in addition to a stagger token. Rubbish, because there's even on Spitewood now a side with only a single hex, dropped it in the middle, so nah, that's another one that you just toss aside. Upgrade 1, Agile, that's a remake, you can reroll 1 save dice. Aggressive Ambusher, that's pretty cool. If he's enraged, his melee weapons have Cleave and Ensnare if the target is flanked and surrounded or surrounded. Again, something like for the Thorns, they will love this card. Thorns Canandora, like they're shown on there, also a very suitable one for that. Elite aggro less. Angered Swing, you can only use it when enraged, but it does 2 damage. And if you use the reroll for the Raging Strike, however, you have to roll all dice. So if you have 2 successes and a miss, don't use the Raging ability, because then you might end up with nothing because you're rolling on swords. Assured Bloodshed, their melee weapons have Grapple and Brutal. Now you would say that's rubbish, but the brutal becomes a bit of a thing now because Deadly Synergies is on the rise as a second big deck. I love it myself, a plunder from my Elephane, so yeah, it has more uses than it looks at the first hand, thanks to the later released Deadly Synergies deck. Gifted Vitality, you heal the fighter at the end of each battle round. Now for 2 glory it's handy, but yeah, well, he heals maximum 2 times with use, because on the end of the 3rd battle round it doesn't make too much of his healing because, well, the game's over. So yeah, it's a bit a useless heal, the 3rd one, like the Akagirani, so you're basically paying 1 glory point for a heal. Haymaker, great card. His weapons, excluding upgrades, have lethal, and that means that you can use it once, then you discard it. If you make a successful attack, then you discard it, and it does +2 damage for a maximum of 4. Big guys like Roughgorn, Black Powder, Moloch, they hate that card, but even Stormcast are not too happy about it, because for example, if you couple it with a Rack and Ruin or the other ping abilities, like the Ember Watch, they love this one with the special ping that they have. You hit someone with the Haymaker, you finish with a ping, or otherwise you ping someone and then finish them with the Haymaker. Can go very swift against 5 wounds and higher models than Keen Eye. The old classic of +1 attack dice, always good. Murderous Instincts, this one is fun. Each range 1 melee weapons excluding upgrades have Grievous, and you cannot use core abilities other than charge. So nothing wrong with that, because you're playing aggro, ABC, always be charging, you want to charge anyway. Well, if you have 1 figure left each in the final turn and you're on the other side of the board, then you're screwed if he has that, but otherwise just great. Stubborn to the bone. When the fighter is enraged, this fighter cannot be pushed or given stagger tokens. So yeah, it's good. A bit weird if it's in an aggro deck, but okay. And the final one is United in Anger. You rally together as a surge ability. After an enraged friendly fighter is pushed, you can push this fighter up to 1 hex closer to that fighter. So yeah, this is a free joining bonus push, always handy. Especially since it's an upgrade, so it keeps working. So, say for example, you equip it and they start pushing your other figures at charge and you keep sneaking closer, so yeah. That's pretty cool. That's the Raging Slayers deck. I like it. Is it as good as Blazing Assault? Probably nothing ever will again. The original 4 decks were just way out of the league of everything that came out since then. But this one is a well deserved good second strike deck to couple to that. It's yeah, it's a fun one, and I'm definitely gonna brew with it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye. For watching this video, and if you want to support me, check out the link tree above for all my channels, so you can have a look there, or my affiliate links, so there's a little kickback to the channel for more content. And if you really like, you can always buy me a coffee. Thanks and bye bye.